So today we're going to be looking through Shrek, From the Swamp to the Screen by John Hopkins, which is a name that I am unfamiliar with. It was published in 2004 in hardcover by Abrams, who I primarily know for publishing some really nice Star Wars books. And while I wouldn't call this book rare, in fact you can get it, as of the recording of this video, you can get it fairly cheap. It is out of print, and I really have not seen that much information on it, which is interesting because it is a very novel book in that it's really it's sort of a blend of an art book and a making of book. There's a lot of text throughout the book, and that's very rare because almost every animated film gets a dedicated art book that's, not a lot of text, mostly pictures. But none of the Shrek films actually got none of the first three Shrek films got a dedicated art book. In 2007 there was sort of a compilation art book called Shrek, The Art of the Quest. So this is a really interesting book in that it's a lot of information into the animation process. There is tons and tons of really great concept art. I love the aesthetic of the world of Shrek, and the artworks are really great, and there is actually not a lot of overlap in this book and The Art of the Quest. So definitely, if you want some really great concept art from Shrek, it's not like as you can see, not every page contains concept art, but then you get pages like this where there's some really great stuff. So if you love the sort of the world of Shrek and the look of Shrek and the art style, then this is definitely a great book. But in terms of what the actual text is about, it's a little uneven in terms of understanding who this book is supposed to be written for, because there is lots of really technical information, and then there are other times when it seems like it's really geared towards children, and I wonder if maybe they were trying to make this sort of like a family book, sort of like the films are a family movie, but it comes across as very uneven. This is a great page. See, the book even, and it's worth saying, this book covers Shrek 1 and 2. It's the making of Shrek 1 and 2, and then there's even like this, a spread on Shrek 4D, which, if you don't know what that was just sort of like a little Universal theme park exclusive. So yeah, it's about, I would say maybe Shrek 2 gets a little more than half the book. There's a really great timeline of the development of Shrek. Shrek 2 gets most of it. There's nothing on Shrek 3 or any of the other movies. But it's really unique to get a book that is on the making of an animated movie. So if you don't know really anything about the animation process, specifically this 3D animation type, the text is really good at giving technical yet easy to understand information on how it's all done, going through the development of each of the stages of development that an animated movie has to go through, a lot of the challenges. One thing that was disappointing was I felt like a lot of the information presented, a lot of the little anecdotes and things, were sometimes taken word for word from the behind the scenes features from the DVD. And despite the fact that I said there's a lot of technical information, if you are a student of animation, that's not like this is a textbook or anything. This is really sort of for the layman. So if you do know a lot about the animation process, there's probably not really a lot here that's going to interest you. It's more, a lot of the information is sort of things we hear repeated in a lot of sort of DVD commentaries and special features about animated movies, where they're talking about all the challenges that they had to overcome. But I definitely, if you're a fan of Shrek and animated movies, I definitely recommend this, if only for the novelty of it, of having a making of book related to an animated film. And then, like I said, the fact that there is some really good art doesn't hurt either. I think the best part about the text is the times when they speak about ideas that never made it into the film. Those were something that I had never heard before, about Pinocchio running for president and things like that. I think those were some of their ideas for Shrek 2. And then kind of when I was speaking about the uneven tone, this is an example. They have sort of like a lot of quotes and little sidebars where it's the characters talking, doing the interview, and it's, I guess it's meant to be sort of, fun and silly, but I don't know, it's not really a book that, it is meant to be a book for adults, and I guess this sort of stuff is meant to be fun, but it just kind of feels a bit uneven. But despite that, it is still a really nice book.